At all this game as he was playing from behind. This Terror Blade just out carrying him in every sense. As second round will go down, the game won't come to an end yet, but it definitely feels like we're on the final chapter.
My name's Juan. I'm a content creator who's been editing gaming videos for the last 4 years. I've made this channel and put videos on it just for you. If you're looking for Dota 2 updates, highlights, and the most amazing gameplays from professionals,
he's just stepping
then
forward
you've come to
underneath
the
the
right
birds.
place.
He's dead.
We've also got funny clips, interviews, and
The plot
podcasts
twist
by
as he
the
comes in with a false promise.
If
A
all
lot
of
of
these
damage
sound
coming
like
out to
your cup of tea,
Roger,
be sure to hit
and
the
they get him
subscribe
back
button,
to
and I'll
safety.
see
The
you on the
birds
next
do
video.
him down and will kill him off. Roger is gone. 10 seconds until General's up.
30 seconds to go. Morphling, Megas are there.
I admit nothing
It's
but
only now a
my
question of
sadness
NIP.
that
They
you're
want to
gone.
finish it already for the match. It looks like they want to finish it.
We'll see. It's going to be the last attempt in for Flight to win in game 2. When the morph's up, General. It's going to go in. It's a big FB. And the Thunder Ghost Wrath bursting them down low. But Charlie's able to pop the BKB turn with the Thunder back up to full HP. Always when a fly goes down. GG well played is called. And NIP will be able to punch back here very nicely in game 2 after falling flat on their faces in game 1. Coming back in and showing that they're not to be shaken up. And they can still do it here today as they'll take this game 2 against Fly to Moon.
I'm very satisfied with the boys actually outplayed themselves. This is better than anything I have seen from NIP in this tournament. It looked really solid. Okay, mid lane, that kill on Era and then that kill on Visage.
Yeah, a bit of a shaky start.
It was a little bit shaky. But when they have a shaky start, what do? They give us the best game of their life.
And Supreme Visage, this Visage, it seems to be an incredibly strong pick for them. They knew that this was going to be a game where Supreme was able to perform, and he certainly did a pretty flawless Visage game after that laning stage.
They didn't have a lot of counters, they tried to itemize against him, but because of that itemization, they lacked damage that was necessary to take down the TB.
Has been
and
killed.
Flight to Moon, however, they were a little bit cocky. They were a little bit too aggressive in that mid game, diving without any tier 2s, trying to always go for that one extra kill, and they got punished for it.
They did. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The series heating up now as we've seen NIP hit back hard against Flight to Moon. Can they do it though? Can they take that game 3 and their first winner in a series against Flight to Moon? Or is Flight to Moon going to be coming out with something very, very tough in game 3? We'll find out very shortly. But as for now, the series stands 1-1 with NIP taking game 2.
It took them 6 games, but they got a win out. Tsunami, Jenkins, are you okay with me throwing Soul on the bus?
Yes.
Okay. Resounding yes. I'm going to tell you a little story. So, you know, this office, the studio, has a great coffee machine. It's very important in any office, actually. This coffee machine knows hot chocolate. And when we think it's the last game of the night, that's hot chocolate game. Now, at some point, we saw Iceberg on his Zeus, and he was rushing it. He got fed first blood and the rune by Era, and he killed the Visage, and we thought, okay, this game is probably gonna be pretty fast. So about 7 to 9 minutes into the game, we decided, you know what, it's our chocolate game. And rather than one person going downstairs to pick one up for all 3 of us,
I
we
admit
all
nothing
went
but
down.
my sadness that you're gone.
And when we came back, we didn't really know what happened. So, I mean, we luckily there is Twitch with 5 minutes delay. You know, we could see a little bit of what we missed.
What happened? It was just you that saw it.
I was there. I saw a vision. I was given it. And I was narrated by Twitch what happened. They got over aggressive. They were invading in
Dire's
the
courier
NIP jungle.
has been killed.
They were looking for the Terror Blade, and it just was not the clean sort of initiative I saw out of Flight to Moon out of the past 5 games. Just let that be a lesson to everyone. No one beats NIP 6 games in a row. So it did seem like overconfidence. I had mentioned in the draft that going for a Zeus kind of puts you in tunnel vision of a strategy to beat a Terror Blade, which is all in on magic damage, which is why I was hoping that they would make the Zeus a lower farm priority and not turn it into a mid. I think that if they had made the tiny mid and gotten something like a Daedalus Ads, but instead the Visage Flex Supreme was proved to be too much of a mid-game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Getting jumped, really like solid clockwork game also for sure. So NFP overall, just like I don't think it was necessarily anything that was big on the draft. I just think that Flight of Moon were not playing the organized way that they had set the standard in the matchup.
Perfect. To Inferno. The draft was favored for Flight of Moon. At least that's how I felt looking at the draft. But looking back, you know, I would still say that NIP basically just played out of their mind and they abused the bad positioning from Flight of Moon. Clockwork always getting on top of those initiations, like you said. Saberlight TPing in on Nature's Prophet, catching the backlines every single time on the retreat. Like, there was a lot of really great stuff from NIP. And so I saw that Crimson Guard come out on Sand King, and I was thinking, like, man, that's it. Like, I think that item nullifies Visage.
Yeah.
TB, not good against Crimson. Nature's not good against Crimson. All these small damage sources that are physical. But then the enchant came.
Stupendous!
Like, oh wait, they have a purge. Every single time Supreme went on somebody with the Visage Birds, the Crimson came out, and then the enchant came out. And so it didn't matter. Like, the Sand King fed in every single fight. He probably spent like 10 minutes dead that time. It was rough, but NIP, they were together. They basically just fought nonstop since the hot chocolate, which was great.
The hot chocolate
Radiant's
fiasco.
great to
watch Chocolate Gate. Oh,
It was some really good hot chocolate. I was refreshed.
It was, I mean, it looked so dominant though. At that point, with the moment that we left the game, it looked so dominant for Flight of Moon. And it was looking like even it was going to be a shorter game even than the games we saw before this. But I don't know. I think Ninjas in Pajamas was fairly confident the whole time because they went for the Supreme Midas on the Visage, which apparently you need to get for the levels. But he was confident that he was going to get use of that properly.
When I think of this Midas Visage, I can imagine certain pro players saying something along the lines, something very absolute, like, this is necessary on Visage. Like, I could see people having that opinion. That's how good I think it potentially is, because I know that, actually, I'm referring to Sammy Boy. This guy plays so much Visage. This was his thing back. It's the only thing he would win with and destroy EG with, and things like that. Like, it was his claim to fame, right? And he always said to me, like, Visage sucks. This hero sucks until you get level 12. Then the birds, they actually become a threat. You become a real hero at level 12. And what better way to get level 12 than pick up a Midas? It's not like he really abuses the attack speed too much, but when you're playing a hero that essentially doesn't exist until level 12, then why not rush it?
It was the same argument for whenever Phoenix Midas was very common. It was like the level 6 egg just isn't good. And
now it is, which is
they did change it, and that's why it fell off. But there was that period of time where you're like, well, I mean, why are you building an attack speed item on a hero that never attacks? And it's just because the experience is that valuable.
Yeah, no. So I think that makes a lot of sense. My gut feeling watching that game is that we're going to see a lot more Visages pick up Midas when it's played in a non-off lane position.
Yeah.
General's been playing it in the off lane, going for like the drum sort of build, but no, I really love the Midas on core position Visage, especially if you have heroes that are going to be able to run around and do things with you and kind of make up for the fact that maybe you're lacking tankiness or whatever it is that the Midas would get, you know, spend that gold on something else basically.
So we saw a very successful Iceberg Zeus mid, right? But I remember after the draft there was a little bit of talk where that Zeus was going to go, and it ended up being mid. Do you think it would have been a very different game if Iceberg was playing the Tiny instead and we saw the Sand King Zeus offlane?
I think that Visage would have probably had
Dire's top
a better
tower
start if
is
it was
under
against the
attack.
Tiny. So that would have been the equation, is that Terrorblade would have had a worse game, especially moving later on, but the Visage would have had a better game. And so more burst damage coming out of the Visage and earlier Aghanim Scepter coming out of the Visage. So it's difficult to really be able to equate the two, but based on the way that I've seen Flight of Moon beat NIP, I think that they would have been better off with Iceberg being a more active hero rather than sitting back, waiting to farm the Aghanim Scepter on the Zeus, looking for ninjas opportunities with the Roger and General.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Retrospectively, I do consider the Tiny to have been better for that game, but it's still, it exists in a vacuum.
Yeah, that the problem is then you have like a Zeus playing in the lane against an Enchantress, and if you do get a creep and put it on the Zeus, he's gonna feed every time. If you get the, even if you slow a Zeus, TB hitting with meta, like he has,
There's no way out.
TB like 5 hits him or something.
I think less.
With like a level 2 meta, it's
Radiant's
so
middle tower is under attack.
my take on that game is I feel like the Zeus hasn't been working, period.
Dire's
I don't
bottom
think I've
tower
seen a
is
Zeus
under
that
attack.
has looked
fantastic in a long time, other than in pubs. I feel like in competitive, people are getting really good at dealing with it.
Radiant's
Itemizing against it,
courier
like,
has been
type,
killed.
Glimmer capes are super popular. It's like that's the
Dire's
best position
courier
5
has
item in the
been
game right now,
killed.
period. And as well as like people are just going on him. Like clockwork hooking onto him, jumping back lines. People are just good at playing around the Zeus hero, punishing it.
And also it seems that Terrorblade is somehow being way better of a carry than I expected. He beat an Arc Warden earlier today. He's beating a Morphling now. Somehow this carry with so many vulnerabilities, especially in a draft like this with that much magic damage, is looking unbeatable, which is not at all what I expected.
I consider Terrorblade to be in the same sort of category as like an anti-mage, where no matter what the game is and what you're up against, well, 99% of the time you can win the game. Like, there's some timing that you can get. There's some heroes you can draft around it where the TB can farm and get like a 2-item advantage, and then I don't give a shit what you think counters this hero, what you're going to pick against it. Pick 5 Zeuses or whatever. TB will get a BKB, he'll get a Blink. Aghanim Scepter, he'll fear you. Like, there's options as long as he has the item lead, and he farms faster than any other carry in the game. So it's not like that's not an option for you. And then with Anti-Mage, it's like you farm faster until your time hits. Once you have the battle period, it's more about hitting like the earlier time. The TB will always win the late, basically.
Well, I'm very happy to be proven wrong regarding the NIP. I thought after losing 5 times in the
Dire's
same
bottom tower is under attack.
fashion to Flight Moon, I didn't think they were going to be able to stage
Radiant
a
structures
comeback
are
in this 6th
fortified.
game that we just saw between them.
Dire are
But I'm very
scanning.
happy to be proven wrong because that showed
Dire's middle
a lot
tower
of, like,
is under
that showed
attack.
the NIP that we wanted to see, right? And this gives me hope for the 3rd game of the series to be hopefully a back-to-worth scenario, because even though this 2nd game was definitely longer than most of the previous games, it still was first half of the game, first 10 minutes of the game. It was a Flight Moon show, and after that, it was an Java show. I want to see back and forth. I want to see both of them going toe-to-toe because I think they can.
I like that you said that it was the NIP show, because whenever I see them win, it usually is the Charlie show. And so this was the most team-oriented win I've seen.
Yeah, mostly Supreme, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I was expecting, I was like, okay, the way they're going to win this is like Charlie's going to get so much space, he's going to get huge. You look at the gold graph, you're expecting to see
Dire's
Charlie
bottom
win.
tower
It's like, okay,
is under
NIP's winning.
attack.
How are they winning? They have a TV. Charlie's going to be way at the top. It was Supreme. He had like a 2K gold lead.
On a Visage.
On a Visage against a Morphling.
He was higher than and the Morph and the Terrorblade.
Yeah, still, it's a Visage.
It's a Visage, but it was working. Supreme Visage. Just so good on that hero.
Yeah, and their supports also, like you said, the Enchantress consistently being able to take off that Crimson Guard. It was what I had praised Flight of Moon in Game 1. That they looked coordinated as a
bottom
5-man
tower
unit,
is under
and
attack.
NIP were able to replicate that.
What would you like to see in the next game then? And, final game. It is still, again, nobody's going to get eliminated. It's up to Bracket. Is there anything in particular? Do you want to see
Radiant
Charlie
are
on the
scanning.
Void, on the Terrorblade, on the Sven?
I want Iceberg on a playmaker hero.
Okay.
I don't think the Zeus has been a playmaker. I don't think the Doom
Dire's
is a
top
playmaker.
tower is
As
under
much
attack.
as I enjoy him stepping out of what is probably his comfort zone, it's still more engaging to watch some sort of hero that doesn't need a +1, and the Zeus and the Doom
Zeus games that they've picked it in. It just doesn't seem to fit with how they play as a team. He seems to like it in pubs. I know that he spams it a lot. He's one of the people spamming him in Thompson, but it's not working for them. So I think they definitely have a better
Dire's
chance.
top tower is under attack.
Without the Zeus,
Radiant's
that's
courier
why I would have
has
liked
been
to.
killed.
But we're seeing NIP with an actual win against Flight of Moon. We're seeing NIP with possibly momentum, possibly very positive psychology after that, feeling like they figured something out in the draft. They figured something out that they can do. Like I'm scared for Flight of Moon.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They look solid, and maybe they finally have Flight Moon figured out. But how much of this was dependent on the draft then? If you guys go back to that, because yes, Ninja Pajamas played great, but it wasn't necessarily that Flight Moon played bad. They just, they kind of
Radiant's
lost.
bottom
I guess
tower
in a Zeus,
is under
in a
attack.
pub game it would work because you can continue to snowball, and in this case it's a professional match, so the enemy team is gonna at least stop the bleeding, which kind of stops your snowball, and then you're gonna fall off hard.
Yeah, both the draft and the gameplay from Flight Moon I would just consider.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Hero, that's funny. Obviously, the Zeus is very entertaining. You get first blood, you kill mid, and then you hit level 6 early
Dire's
on.
top tower
just
immensely
3 kills right
so
now.
satisfying.
Invisibility.
Yeah, but what do you do with it is my question. I feel like as a
Dire's
team,
bottom tower is under
think about
attack.
the first game. Who was the one that was instigating all of the tower pushes, playing in the front lines? It was Iceberg, right?
It was Iceberg on the boot, yeah.
There's a reason that
Dire's
V-Tune is
top
able to
tower
get so
is under
far
attack.
consistently in these games. It's Iceberg, man. He's a maniac. You have to use that. You have to enable him. At least for this particular team.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
When he it's not the exact same one as now. But they came third, I think, in total.
I'll take your tribute.
Well, when players walk onto the stage, you know, they're gamers. They're a little social awkward. They'll wave, but they'll go to the computer. You know, that's their goal. Iceberg, he made it a show. He made sure that everybody knew that he was walking on that stage. He soaked up all the applause because everybody, of course, there were a lot of Flight Moon fans.
That's why I remember the Dendi OpenAI showdown where he actually did walk out in a robe, and you can tell that Dendi was not really comfortable being that like egotistical about it, like doing the fake punches coming out of the robe.
Oh, he would have, and he has. You know, we've seen him do that on stage. We've seen him do that in games as well. He does need those front line heroes. Zeus is just not one of those. Well, not in professional Dota. Let that be a lesson to you. But yeah,
Regeneration.
It's just that it changes their whole strat is the problem. Like maybe with a different offlaner it will work. Maybe with a different carry it will work. But with this team, it seems like it doesn't work. I feel like that's something that they'll probably talk about after analyzing that game. It's just I don't think it's a bad hero. Maybe it just doesn't fit them, even though he's good at it.
For NIP, like I said, don't make it the Charlie show. Supreme is more than capable. Saberlight's more than capable. The supports are more than capable. They just need an opportunity to shine rather than putting all their focus on enabling Charlie.
Yeah. We're heading into the draft for the third game. I feel like that's also a little bit of the what you're describing, a little bit of the shift that we've seen over the last 4 weeks, that we have indeed teams they're less focused on the 4 Protect 1 show.
Yeah.
Especially in the Immortal League, we don't really have that anymore, and that was the biggest lesson I think that you would take away. Like if you watch all the games and compare it to the Divine League, that would be one of the biggest takeaways. Don't focus everything in your hard carry, and I think Ninjas in Pajamas, they learned as well. Let's see what they can do for this third and final game. Now, the winner of this will move forward to the upper bracket finals. That's right, that means guaranteed top 3 of the Divine League. You'll face up against either Na'Vi or 5-Men. That's a match for tomorrow, but one of those teams will also be in the upper bracket finals with you. Well, the loser drops to Khan, and I kind of feel like Khan has been on a tear, so they are
more than exceptionally mediocre at this point.
More than exceptionally mediocre.
Exceptionally adequate, I think they may be moving up to.
Looks like it. I don't think... Would you say adequate is better than mediocre? Adequate's like up to the task.
Yeah, I think so. Adequate is...
Mediocre is like the more denigrating version of like, it gets the job done. Whereas adequate's like, yeah, it gets the job done. You know?
Tower is under attack.
Okay, I'll
Dire structures are fortified.
I do think
are
they,
scanning.
Yeah, adequate. We'll go for adequate.
There's the draft.
There is the draft.
Dire's
We have got on the
tower
side of Flight
has
of Moon
fallen.
the opening of the Grimstroke Tiny, so a little bit of flexibility to that Tiny again, but I guess for all of us we kind of hope that it will be the Iceberg Tiny. And then again the Clockwork Nature's Prophet on the side of Ninjas in Pajamas. I mean, it worked, it worked previously. Why not? Last time actually when Flight of Moon and Grimstroke, they also had that Doom, so we're probably gonna... Oh, never mind, that's already first phase banned.
Yeah, banned out.
Banned.
Some sort of combo that works with it. Usually you want a couple of heroes.
Dire
Tiny's
are
good.
scanning.
Tiny's a star. You know, you can double toss. Usually it's nice to have a few heroes to play with.
Radiant's
Yeah,
courier has been killed.
Criticizing Charlie for always being Sven. NIP are letting V2's Dolphins.
Dire's top tower
They are
is
not
under
afraid
attack.
of it. After game 2, it didn't seem like Morphling was going to make or break anything. It just seemed like V2's hero, whatever he was going to play, was going to get farmed and eventually participate. It seemed more like it was hinging on
Dire's
Iceberg
middle
to
tower
make
is
or
under
break that
attack.
game. So, not too concerned about the carry matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to know that something is coming out after seeing it in so many games at this point, that that's probably going to be what they're going to pick. Applying that, and so this same opener, same sort of draft will work. I was thinking maybe they'll go with like the Faces Flight team fight thing and try to
Dire's
switch it
bottom
up
tower is under
and catch
attack.
Flight of Moon off guard, but actually
Radiant's
they are,
top
okay,
tower
cool.
is under
There you go.
attack.
Fantastic.
Back to the Faces Void. This is where it all started.
Yeah.
For Ninja Pajamas.
Pool can't take this. They started out losing to Flight of Moon constantly. And now they will win 6 games in a row versus Flight of Moon.
I like it. I like it. I mean, we haven't seen this in a long time. So, it's... if you're
Dire's
Flight of
middle
Moon,
tower
have you
is under
prepared for
attack.
this? I mean, if you've prepared for it,
Dire's
are you
structures
used
are
to playing
fortified.
against it? Obviously not against NIP. I like this.
Dire's middle tower
I mainly like it
has
because
fallen.
it's not NIP, but it's not the exact same strategy. It's like hoping that Flight of Moon would adapt to the Visage Supreme. And
I
the
think so
Terrorblade
too.
Charlie.
I think that works once.
Yeah.
I think that works once, and then not again. I feel like Flight of Moon is considering. It's gonna sound crazy, but I feel like they're considering Invoker just because it's not banned, and NIP is instantly going to pick it if it gets. It's like, do we deny the Supreme Invoker right now? How much does Iceberg want to play Invoker? We have seen him play Quaswax Invoker to great success before, so I think that's why it's reasonable that they're considering it in this position. But then it does open up the hero to being countered in the mid lane.
Yeah. The alternative is if
Okay,
you,
They pick it themselves.
that's that's so funny because they have to do it, otherwise they're just gonna get supremed. Like they banned this in the last game, there wasn't a Void. That's how it was a terrible Invoker game, and they're still that afraid of the Supreme Invoker.
And it's good, it's good. Gotta just ban it.
So they need something to combo with the Void. It doesn't have to be the Invoker now. It doesn't have to be the mid laner now because it's not as obvious as like another pick in the mid lane that's going to be good with Void is not going to be as obvious as the Invoker. So
you get like a 4-position snap maybe, or 5 snap.
yeah, sure. That sounds great.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
How do you guys feel that both teams really like the side that they've been playing on the whole series? Like they haven't swapped.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Radiant
point.
for Flight of Moon, all 3 games. Dire Ninja down all 3 games.
I'm sure T-Gov would extol the virtues of this.
He really would.
He loves all this second pick, first pick.
He doesn't like that. To be honest, I've never been a follower.
It's because it very much comes down to it's not at the point in the game where they're like there's a huge rating advantage.
Right, but
this hero.
people love it when you're like absolute about it. Second pick is so much better.
Yeah.
But I do think it depends on the team. Like I was playing in some qualifiers. We actually ended up qualifying, open qualifiers. Our team name was We Dislike Bears because we don't like bears. And
Ursa and Lone Druid and Brewmaster, or
we didn't ban all of those.
Okay.
Or the Grizzlies.
We liked second pick.
Dire's
We liked second pick because the
tower is
only
under
good player
attack.
on our team was our mid laner.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So he just last picked up something, he carried us. It actually worked. Oh my god, is this how captains do it? Holy shit, easy.
I must say though, I am liking this draft for Ninjas in Pajamas because when you're talking about Supreme, if the first hero that pops into my mind is Supreme. And if he's not supposed to be a pain, I don't know, there's a lot that money you can get. I personally have seen that I'm just not convinced when I see their draft. It just looks so much easier for Ninjas in Pajamas at the moment.
Maybe I'm like, super biased
I
because I'm a
admit
Venom
nothing
spammer,
but my sadness that you're gone.
I'm now not a Venom spammer. Everybody's banning it, actually, it's a problem. But I really do like the Venom versus the Faceless Void matchup. It's I don't know what Void can do. You need a really incredibly strong support to beat a Venom, and then there's still a Tiny. So if you're picking any of these strong laning supports like a Lich or something like that, the Tiny will deal with that. So I really like that matchup. I'm sure Charlie is very comfortable playing against pub matchup in the safe lane, off lane. Like I would bet my. I'm not. I would bet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Which one? The left or the right one?
Oh, you knew where I was going with that. I was going to say my third.
Oh, okay.
I would bet that this is the most common matchup in the current patch. Lane 7. Ooh! What the hell is that here?
You like that? What are we thinking about that? Because I have no idea, because this is not a hero.
It's not really a hero. Whatever was his original claim to fame is that he was very reliable in lane just because you have the lifesteal on the cooldown. Now that it's RNG, you can't even guarantee that you'll be able to do that well against Prophet, which seems to be stabilize Prophet again, seeing as how they picked the Queen of Pain for Supreme, most likely. But I don't really see the itself.
They got a
chaos.
I actually like it. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. I was going to say, against the Nature's Prophet, I like the CK
admit nothing but
because
my
it's a kill hero.
sadness that you're gone.
But against Underlord, illusions don't exist. That's a problem. This solves the hero. It's good that this is a flexible hero on the Nature's Prophet. I'm looking at the odds.
Give me the odds.
Well, they're
Radiant's
still,
middle tower is under
they're
attack.
still pretty decently to Planet Moon, which with this draft, I take it. As in, I'd bet for Ninja Pajamas.
Yeah,
I like their draft. Like, they just seem... It seems like a more comfortable draft. Less finicky.
There's something that they have in mind with this CK. I'm trying to look at the heroes that I have, because I definitely don't see any synergies with CK and fighting these heroes. Like,
they got the double stun.
Sure.
Double
yeah, so it's a single target spell on a CK.
I do think you can burst Void and Queen of Pain with CK. I think these heroes don't like being charged by free illusions and chaos. I think they can do it. But with that being said, you're playing into an Underlord who's going to instantly kill all of you. Not instantly. I'm exaggerating.
And a Quap that'll
very quickly kill the illusion.
Eventually get 25 with the Fear, which is also a huge pain in the ass whenever you're trying to organize all your units. And again, in the lane, I don't really see how CK does well. He has what, pretty higher than average regen, base regen, right?
I have no idea.
I think he does. And then his armor is average. It was really the lifesteal that made him a good lane, and that's so unreliable now. That
I think what makes CK a good laner these days, if he's in a good lane, is Choke Red.
Yeah.
He's a kill hero. But against Underlord, it's hard. You can snowball on him.
Okay, dodge the lane. Is this like
you could do that actually. You could dodge the lane.
Veno CK lane top? Tiny Grim bottom?
The Veno, it'd be Grimstroke CK.
The prize is mine.
Void.
you need the Venom to be a core.
Thanks.
I probably want the Veno versus the Void is the problem.
Yeah. I don't know what their plan is.
Well, we're gonna find out what their plan is. That is what's happening right now. The third game to this series. Which of these two teams will be guaranteed top 3 in the Divine bracket? Let's find out together with Odie Pixel.
Thank you very much. Yes, the exciting game now between we're getting a new hero. The Chaos Knight appears. Lizard, what do you sort of reckon of this carry at the moment?
It's interesting. I see the picks of Chaos Knight steadily rising in pubs as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Among CIS players, I should say.
Okay.
I think it's...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not just quite sure how well it will be versus the Underlord, because that's a problem.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Versus Void, and that's not something that Void really
Radiant's
likes to
bottom
play
tower
at
has
all.
fallen.
Plus, the Queen of Pain on NIP on the mid lane, yeah, that should be a solid lane for them at least. For NIP, Queen of Pain lane should do quite
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And so with the CK, what sort of build do you go? Do you go Midas, or do you go sort of like
Radiant
the drums,
structures are fortified.
or like what sort of build
Radiant's
nowadays?
bottom tower
that's
is
the
under
real
attack.
question, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you think
Because-
people still testing
Yeah,
around with it?
I have seen a lot of different teams. Well, not a lot of different teams. Let's put it this way. I have seen CK in three total games, and in each game it was a completely different build.
Okay.
If the game is right for you, this hero just
Radiant's
rocks.
bottom
Because
tower
if there's
is under
nothing
attack.
to deal with your illusions, it doesn't really matter how well you itemize, because are you
Radiant's
going for BKB,
bottom
are you going
tower
for
has
heart, are you going
fallen.
for armor and whatnot. As long as you tank up well enough. In this kind of a game though, you're playing versus a Void and you're playing versus a so there are some problems that I see coming for Midas and Chaos Knight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Iceberg could do it. Do you remember we did see Iceberg the other day on the Invoker have an incredible game. So, eyes on him to see if he's able to hit that sort of top tier performance that we've come to expect from his Invoker. The top lane, as you say, well, pressure definitely going to be there on Charlie's Void early on. I mean, which carry's going to have a rougher time in the lane? Charlie on the Void or Visage on the CK, do you think?
I think it comes down to Misha and how he plays this lane as an Aegis Prophet, because you can really pressure the Venomancer and the Tiny until they hit level 2 or 3. Specifically Tiny, he has no armor. You come here with the Blightstone and you just zone him constantly. But if you get caught out of position with that one Gale, you can easily die.
Roger. Actually getting blocked here by the Treants of Misha, and he's going to go down. First blood for NIP there. Nice play from Misha, just blocking off that little route of escape through the trees. So Roger, he couldn't get away.
That's really that's exactly how you have to play that lane.
Roshan has fallen into the ring.
Punish the Tiny and the Venomancer so they don't scale that well early on. What's happening over here? Chaos Knight was so far behind.
Just had a creep wave, Scott. Dragged right back or something. It's right back beyond the tower. And it's got me what you get for Charlie. Do you like this approach against the Veno lane? The double rings of regen on the safe laner? Is it the way to go against the Venomancer?
Yeah, it's something different. It's I think it's a way to just be able to play versus general. That poison sting also gets left a little bit, so if you have that double ring of regen, you will be able to sustain yourself without constantly ferrying in the... But one good thing that they have as well on that option for NIP is you are playing with an Aegis Prophet, so that's your free courier, right? You can always TP back and bring you your stuff.
We're seeing so far Charlie 12 for 3, V-Tune 10 for 5 down bottom, and in the mid lane, Iceberg certainly off to a very nice start in the first few waves here. 11 and 7 against the 8 for 2, getting some good denies in against the Quap. For this Exort build, of course, and just having that favourable right click, especially with the help of Forge Spirit.
This is full comfort zone as well for Iceberg. You mentioned that he played this Invoker recently. Of course, that he's been playing Invoker for the majority of his career. And, for as long as I can remember, it's very strong.
One hits it. General's farm. And Roger actually able to get Charlie's courier there. Not too hot on the micro there, Charlie. Lets the courier take the wrong route round. And Roger able to easily take it.
Yep. I love how Panel discussed this bottom lane, like the killer lane. It really is when you see Grimstroke and CK. The way you play that lane, you get kills on whoever is there, but Underlord, Rockbird, they're really difficult to go on. You have a bit of Malice, perhaps on one of the lows, and you have the Cogs, the Battery Assault. They're both naturally very tanky.
My spirit.
Just a 4-minute rune Iceberg.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nothing but my
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This time he takes the rune
Radiant's
and he
top
doesn't
tower
die,
has
so
fallen.
it's a much better start for NIP already.
Radiant's top tower is under
Try and
attack.
do something here. Mid. Only level 1 on the clock, so only a Cogs to offer up. So pretty much getting gone on by Iceberg.
Yeah, Supreme is way too low.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're going to Cogs. Iceberg in. And they got the
Radiant's
damage. He's got the
top tower
Fairy
is under
Fire,
attack.
and that Shadow Stroke won't kill him. The dagger not enough damage. Oh, Supreme OP
Dire's
goes for it.
bottom tower
Oh
is
no!
under
Oh
attack.
no!
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
that's
tower
it.
has fallen.
Oh, that's a big old tip right there.
Oh.
You hate to see it, but you also kind of love it as well because that was you gotta love the fails. That was a bit of an epic one.
I think we're gonna see that in one of the we're gonna see that in one of those highlight reels of the tournament.
Behold, a subtle bird.
Oh, V-Tune, has he got this?
He's got it.
Oh no, he hasn't. Wasn't able to get there in time around the corner.
Yeah, he was a little bit slow there. He could have ran instantly to it. He took the longer way around so he doesn't get caught back. He could have went a bit closer.
Oh, he's got. Oh, if he dies here, it's going to hurt. Oh,
Oh, what's happening?
Oh, no, we're getting some fails all over the place. Fails on mid, fails up top. Charlie dying after using his TP. He's going to have to walk back to the lane. Did he just not expect
tower is under attack.
Just forget about Avalanche?
I guess this feels like a fails of the week highlight reel from NIP.
Be a little careful.
Yeah, that Void is gonna have to run
Dire's
back straight to the lane.
He's having a good time as well in the lane. Charlie was farming well. Wasn't getting bullied back too hard, but that opportunity there from Roger in general to get the kill. Again, just not only the kill, but during a TP attempt.
Is that a Midas completed? Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. He's back. He's back, boys and girls. Suprema's back.
What do you
Who's
think?
got a Midas?
No, it's not a Midas. It's power
Midas.
touch. Yeah,
6 minutes in.
No, I saw
Dire's
Vitune with
top tower is under
just the
attack.
haste, right? And I also got the haste. So he's got Midas very in, but no, it's just the power threats.
We get some tips back as well here between the mid laners. It's all kicking off. Bottom lane. Get always one on fly, like you said. He's got the
Dire's
fire.
bottom tower
Be
is
fine.
under attack.
Didn't you notice that something very similar happened in that first game? Era tries to gank mid, he dies, his mid dies, and then Visage gets a kill on Zeus. This game around, Pain.
Oh! That's a tip! Oh, that's a double tip! Oh, he's getting the Sunstruck, Charlie! Is Charlie's TP still on cooldown, or will it be back?
I think
Dire's
it'll be
middle
back.
tower
Unless he tries to TP again. We're going to check. Maybe
He's got it, he's got it.
Yeah, right.
If he didn't, he would be pretty mad. Iceberg there with the snipe.
Iceberg in the last game with the Zeus got the same kill on Charlie, and now he gets with the Sunstrike. The games are repeating. The game is repeating itself pretty much.
Era's an Iceberg. You know, other than that death, having a good time. Era's going to try
Dire's
and come
middle
over towards the mid lane.
tower
It's
is under
hard
attack.
now. I mean, level 7 on the Invoker. Not an easy hero to dive in on.
You have a ward as well right there, so you see Era, Iceberg.
Dire's
I think
top
Era
tower
knows
is
that
under
Iceberg.
attack.
Oh, there we
With
go.
the 3 of them, they got detection, they have. Dust is there.
Dire's top tower
Get out
has
to the
fallen.
side. Iceberg will live, able to walk away. Mass TP's coming in. V2's
Radiant's
going to
bottom
turn,
tower
pull in the
is under
Prophet
attack.
underneath the tower, take out Misha.
Dire's
Backup
top
comes
tower
in for
is
Fly
under
to
attack.
Moon. No hold up against him.
Dire's
Bit of
top
room, it's going to be down bottom. Now people at least be able to hold that hip spree.
Even though that play
Radiant's
didn't work out
bottom
for
tower
NIP,
has
I
fallen.
love it because Era.
Radiant's
Look,
bottom
you don't have a sense but you understand it's a ward because of the way Iceberg is moving. He's going down for it, but Era just stays there.
Oh, we're going to see the Sunstrike. Oh, that was it. Very nicely done.
He gave Invoker false sense of security for Nature's Prophet to TP back and get the disable.
Nearly happened there again. This time Roger not able to quite get the combo going. Still, Charlie's just bullied straight away from this lane. We've seen sort of a switch up. Saberlight's going to come up here as the Underlord, and Charlie looks like he's just going to look towards the jungle right now.
I don't think there's a single hero on NIP versus General right now. But if you're Underlord, at least you can outpush the lanes constantly with Firestorm. So it's not a good situation to be in, but it's the best that you've got, and at least you'll defend the tower. Yeah, Midas almost completed on Vitune, 1400 gold with power threats. He's farming extremely well, and he wasn't pressured at all on that bottom lane.
No, yeah, definitely starting to see the effects there of the pressure that Charlie was getting in comparison to that Vitune was. Charlie just a little bit behind.
They might try
CK right now.
This is a good combo.
And Roger's trying to come in from
Dire
behind.
are
Look at
scanning.
the toss over on Saberlight. Saberlight, he's not going to be able to save Misha, as Misha is going to go down.
Dire's
Okay,
turret
able to get the
has been
deny at
killed.
least. Denied there. General goes for the TP out and is away before Supreme can finish him. Supreme is actually out of that. He decides that Saberlight needs to take him away. Roger, I think he's trying to. Oh, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's outside of the range of the ult, but it doesn't matter. Supreme will still live with the stick. It was a good attempt from Tiny.
It was a good attempt if the CK wasn't there on time. If he tosses the co-op on the CK, then it's a kill because you have the follow-up reality rift and stun. Sadly, that didn't happen. Also, I think...
He did! He found it! Roger went into the jungle and he caught Supreme trying to walk back to base.
Oh, Roger.
Oh, tips. That's a tip.
It's the way he plays Tiny. He's constantly aggressive. You have to go base. If you're low, just go base versus Roger. He's gonna find you.
They've got the setup. Cold snap into... Oh,
another one.
And then there's the tip. General's throwing one in.
So Roger is
coming out.
Yeah, Roger is coming for you. If you're 50% HP, you just better run base. Get to the fountain.
And they're playing very fast here, Fly to Moon, with these tiny combos. We'll see it again there. Whoop. Be careful out on the map when Roger's on the hunt. Toss, Avalanche, and a Sunstrike at this stage of the game is going to pretty much 100 to 0 most of the heroes on NIP.
I admit nothing but my sadness that you're gone.
Right?
No.
They don't really have a lot
no
of damage. When you think about it,
Yeah,
it's not like you have Invoker or Shakira.
Of invisibility.
It's fine, but it's not really that awesome.
No, I mean,
Radiant's
it's
middle
definitely going to
tower
fall
is
on
under
the
attack.
potency the later you leave it. So if you do want to try and get some kills with the Chrono, you imagine he's out and hunt now, but still, you know, Charlie, he just wants to get the spikes. Before anything else.
Did not let him have that. He goes down bottom. Now there's another smoke coming from Hellraiser's. Roger is just leading the charge. He has 700 gold. Thanks, It feels good.
Saberlight, he is a beefier one, but honestly, with the combo and the three of them up, there's still something you can kill him. Yeah, Saberlight's going to try and get out of it. They feel that they can burst him before it.
He gets a career.
All right, Courier. Sends the tip straight back the way there.
Are you doing this game? It's on point.
I like it as well. I can't tell if they're having fun or if they're genuinely trying to get each other.
They
I'm
generally
gonna
hate
feel
each other,
that it's the latter.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All right, bit of revenge on a Roger. Roger just managed to toss her out of this. Avalanche on the two of them. Big Nature's Wrath comes in from Misha. They get
Radiant structures
Roger
are
out of the
fortified.
area. Actually bringing the full 5-man of NIP to this top lane.
The damage
Radiant's
that the position
middle
5 Nature's
tower is
Prophet
under
can do
attack.
with his ultimate just feels like he just killed the Tiny that was on a quarter of his HP with one
Radiant's
ulti.
middle tower has
Big
fallen.
damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ace is under attack.
Iceberg in the mid lane. Charlie just about.
Dire victory.
Going.
It's not the
Hey,
best.
how are you guys doing? Me? I'm doing great. I'm excited to
can
reach
still recover.
100k subs, and we're almost there. Thanks a lot for your continued support. YouTube wants us to have more engagement
just a
on the
2K
channel,
lead
so
here
don't
for
hesitate to give
Fly
your
to Moon. Still
opinions,
holding the top
criticisms,
spot, all
or
three of
ideas.
their cores.
For now, take care, stay
in the
safe,
lead.
and see you on the next video.
We've seen Roger 1,000 onto the Blink Dagger. Very important timing for him. Into the jungle, Era steps. Always want to fly. And